Okay, this is the installation of my Onnais RV door lock. This is one that seems to be pretty well respected. I'm doing it on my 2023 Ibex 20MDS, and we're going to put it on there. I am literally opening this, so we'll do an unboxing, I guess. So a lot more difficult doing it one-handed. By the way, if you're wondering what the tape is, I had to adjust the spring or screen door latch so that it would actually function properly. Great job at the factory, Forest River. Go. Open this up. See what we got. Instructions. I don't even know. Hang on. It's a key fob. I'll set that aside for the moment. Oops. And let's see what this is. Another key fob, most likely. That's a key fob. So those are the key fobs. Pull this out. And there is the lock. Box with some stuff. All right, so the box contains all of what you see here. You've got the instructions and the door lock itself, 2 key fobs, a screwdriver here. Looks like a piece of maybe tape or something that goes in. I haven't read the instructions yet. A couple of things for the door strikes, little cap, 5 screws, and then an Allen wrench. So looks like a pretty complete kit. All right, so looking at the instructions here, looks pretty straightforward. I'll insert photos of this so that it'll look a little bit more interesting. First thing to do is to remove the existing door handles. Here's the existing door handle, and I'll do this a little bit on camera, but it's going to be difficult to do one-handed. So I have my trusty snap-on ratcheting screwdriver. By the way, this is a great screwdriver, but it's expensive as heck. Don't buy one of these if you don't have to. Linus Tech Tips also has a fantastic ratcheting screwdriver. It's also really expensive, but hey, you know, buy once, cry once too. All right, so I got this screw out, and this handle is wanting to fall. Hey, there's one side. I'm gonna have to take the screws out of here next. You hear the dog barking in the background. That's Ellie. She's a very sweet German Shepherd, but the neighbors leave her out. Okay, get this out. Toss that down there, and I think I can take this out now. Yep. Just simply pull it out. Ta-da! There we go. All right. Okay, so the second step is to put the front of the handle into the door opening, ensuring that the wires are pulled ahead of the lock, securely hold the lock in place, and attach the new strike plate using the provided 2 short machine screws. They don't say what the tools are that they provide you, but it's a 2.5mm Allen wrench. But I've got to take these 4 screws out to get the door separated. Well, I thought I was recording and I wasn't, but I pulled this off, and you have to be very careful because these 2 wire connectors are going to be connected. You're going to have to connect them up, obviously, in order to make it work once you get it installed. But anyway, just make sure you don't pull that off too hard so that you rip those wires out. The instructions say to use the 2 short machine screws, and those are in this baggie right here. I have all the screws lined up, and as you can see, they're all the same height, so I don't know what they mean by short screws other than 2 of these. I will kind of put this in place and get back to you. All right, so I have seen this on another installation video. There is just a little bit of interference up here. Let me see if I can zoom in on it there. There and there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim that out with a knife. Here we go. I got this trimmed out. You can see literally it's just a tiny little notch there. This is Asdel. That's what they use on the exterior of this aircraft, on the exterior of this camper, and just had to trim out a little bit. The top one kind of hits here, but it goes in, and then it's pretty tight in the opening. But I'll try and get this in one motion here for you. So we stick that in there, and then see how the wire's trapped. I had to pull that wire out, and now you can see this fits in, and away we go. So fits in there pretty snug. Looks like when they trim this out, they leave all the little shards of plastic from this. So anyway, I'm gonna get the strike plate on there. I was trying to do this one-handed, but it's just not. So anyway, I got the screw started. We'll get that one snugged up a bit, and then I'll get the other one in. And here's the other one. Make sure you leave that top one kind of loose until you get this thing, till you get it both screws started, and then you can work on getting them both snugged up. And they may have to loosen up a little bit just to get things adjusted once you get everything together too. But I think that should be okay. Okay, I just undid this screw. This is the part that goes on the inside. There are no batteries that come with it, which, okay, fine. One thing to note is this is a captured screw, which is nice. You don't have to worry about losing that screw when you go to change batteries. And that little screwdriver there is what that was for. Step 3 says connect the battery wires between the front and back covers. You should hear a beep sound indicating that it's connected. If you don't hear any sound, please check the connection. Obviously, you have to put batteries in it. So I got my trusty Rayovacs in here. I will probably switch these to like the Energizer lithiums just to make sure that I've got the highest time batteries that I can get. But let's see what we can do here. If I can, let's see if we, here we go. And I'm risking destroying my wiring just for the sake of this video. There's the beep. Okay. Oh. So, all right. So now what I need to do is take those 4 screws there and put them in and get this mated up. One thing before I get the screws in, note this pocket here. That's where that connector needs to tuck into. Otherwise, it's going to get smashed in between the two halves. Okay, so I got that first screw in, and it is sort of a pain to get, but what you can see is it's still pretty loose. You want to make sure it's loose until you get all 4 of these screws in, and then you can start to snug them up. But you can see it works, and then you have to make sure that the deadbolt is actually lined up on this back of this dial when you put that on. It'll be pretty obvious. You can't put them together without it being in the right place. I got the 4 screws in. Let me finish snugging these up. Push this back against here so I can actually see it. Back with the other wrench. So that's snugged up, and the latch is still working, and that's working. I think we're good there. So in the interest of laziness, which I am, the new strike plate, other than being much prettier, is the same size. So I could take out the old one and put the new one in, but it's got the same dimensions. I have ADOS, that's attention deficit. Ooh, shiny. I started to close the door and was looking at this, and this is the travel lock that a lot of, like the other lock has actual key on this, but if you just turn this sideways, you can actuate the door. If you turn it so it's vertical, it locks that, and so it's just added protection for while you're traveling. It's not really meant to lock your door. Okay, I'm gonna try and do this one-handed. Let's see what we can do here. I'll put that in, and away we go. One thing I just realized is I haven't seen the key for the deadbolt that goes on the outside. I'll show you the deadbolt here. Ta-da! And that certainly doesn't look like my my current key. I got that locked, and yeah, okay. Let's go through the box and find it. I had forgotten about this. This is like your new key fobs for your car. Push the button back here. Let me see if I can do it. And the key is right there. So there is no separate key. It goes into your key fob. Pretty cool. One more thing I noticed as I was going to close the door, I had the screen thing here. You cannot latch that in now. The old door you could. You've got to have this open. Now it'll close. Nice thing about this is it gives you a good handle here to pull it closed with. We're out of adjustment. It will not latch, which actually I think the whole thing was out of adjustment before. So I'm going to have to loosen these screws up on the actual strike plate, get it adjusted a little bit. Okay, I think I am going to end up switching to this strike plate. The other one didn't seem to want to fit. If you want to know how secure your RV doors really are, those 2 screws go into this sheet metal, and that's what holds the lock in place. Yeah. I may have to rethink the security on this and maybe add a little bit more. I know that there's 100 ways you can probably get into this thing, but anyway, yeah. 2 tiny little screws. Let me show you my issue here. You can see where the bottom screw is here. The hole is drilled about even with the exterior wall. The upper hole is, I don't know, 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch in. so it won't allow that strike plate to be adjusted properly. I'm going to have to modify the strike plate because I don't want to re-drill that hole. It would be too close. They would be too close together and wouldn't hold. I hogged out some material, just took a drill bit and my cordless drill and just kind of hogged out a little bit more. And now it will close. Ta-da! So now I need to figure out the electronic portion of this. All right, to lock it, you hit the Onnais button, and there it comes. And then to unlock it, I still haven't set the code, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, check, and away it goes. So that's working, and now I need to figure out how to set the code from default. In order to set a new password, you do the administrator keypad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, check, and then it beeps at you and you hit set once, and then you go and you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. It can be up to 10 digits, and then we repeat. We have to hit the check mark. And then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 again. And now it's set. And if I lock it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and it unlocks. All right, let's see if the key fob still works. Still works. All right. Okay, to program the key fob, you have to have the door unlocked, okay? And then you type in your administrator passcode. No, I haven't changed it yet. That, you hear 2 beeps, 1, 2, 3 on the set button, and you'll hear it beep. And then you gotta wait a little bit. This has not worked well for me. I got the other one to go, but this one was functioning, and then I tried to demonstrate it again. Silly me. Now, as soon as I turned the video off, it acknowledged it. So now if I hit the lock button, it locks. And you have to wait like 2 seconds, 3 seconds to unlock it. So, but now they work. I'm gonna come in here, shut the door, and hit lock. And there we go. And it's dead bolted. So let me do this again. Lock it. And if we were coming home or back to the trailer, ta-da, there you go. Now, I will say this. In order to program the key fob, it says ensure that the safety or the lock is unlocked. Do in your administrative password, set 3 times, wait for the beep, and the panel lights start flashing. Here's the problem. It's really bright outside right now. I can't see the lights flashing on there. So I pressed the button on the key fob, and it didn't seem to work, but I just kept pressing the button on the key fob for a while, and eventually it beeped. And then it says you'll succeed when the Onnais button illuminates green and flashes 2 times. Well, maybe you want to program these in lower light condition than what I'm at right now. One other thing on pairing the key fobs, I just read the red line here, should have read that before. You can pair multiple remote controls consecutively. When re-entering the fob pairing mode, all the previous fobs will be cleared. You need to pair them again. So when you're doing this, you need to have both key fobs in your hand and hit both buttons. Hit one and then the other, and then wait a little while, and it does eventually accept it and does the pairing. So it's sort of a pain. I just kind of went back and forth, bing, 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 until I felt like I was okay, and then about 10 seconds later it locked. So yeah, there you go.